Hey guys, so this following video you're about to watch was a multi-part video that I had made quite a while ago and realized that I had kind of spaced out the different parts and nothing was labeled and nothing was marked, so most people didn't even realize it was a multi-part like series type video. This could be 2 parts or 3 parts or whatever. I'm going to use the same beginning for a couple different videos just so you're aware. So I edited everything together and basically that's it. So here's that video. I hope you enjoy it. Keep wrenching, guys. All right, everyone. One of my good customers calls me up, says, I bought a truck, and I want you to look at it. And it's happened so often, it's not even funny, but like, why not have me look at something and then buy it? Why are you going to buy it and then have me look at it? So he stops in with this truck. It's an 06 Chevy Silverado. And it don't look bad at first. And he says, the check engine light's on. He goes, every once in a while it starts flashing and it runs terribly. So I'm thinking misfire. So, you know what? Let me show you the codes. Hang on a second. Because here's the truck. It's up in the air. And it's got some like oversized tires on it. These tires are actually way too big for the truck. Let's see. These tires are just way too big for this truck. It's a 1500 with a 4.8. At first I thought it was a 2500 when he pulled in, but it's not. It's only a 1500. All right, so let me let this thing down. I'm going to show you all the codes. All right. So here's the truck. It doesn't look bad, right? So I'm walking by it. There, it's got a pretty big hitch for a 1500. Shouldn't have a hitch that big on there, but okay, whatever. Yeah, and one of the things I noticed was that. Okay, so the top of the bed's rotted out. Whatever, not a big deal. So let's go inside. Let me shut my light off here. Turn the key on, and here's the codes. And it's a ton of O2 codes. O2 code, O2 code, O2 code, O2 code, O2, O2. Okay? Next page. O2 code, O2 code. Misfire detected. That could be from O2s being screwed up. It's very possible. And then evap system, vent control circuit low. That's either going to be a bad vent solenoid or a wiring problem to the vent solenoid. So, it doesn't have terrible mileage. It's only like 157. And the interior isn't bad either. But something, I don't know, piqued my interest. Let's put it that way. You know, the antenna went up and it was just like, the warning signs are there. Something's wrong. So let's put this back up in the air so you can see what I'm seeing underneath this thing. Now, one thing I noticed in the paint, and I don't think you could see it through the video, unfortunately, because of my lighting in here, there's swirl marks everywhere. And you can see the edge here. You see that? There's filler in here. There you can actually see some of the orange peel there. But there's swirl marks and sand marks and everything else. The whole side of this thing is like this. Both sides. Okay, let's continue. So then the next thing I notice, okay, rocker panels don't look bad. Or rockers, whatever you want to call them. Notice something? Notice how this is bulging out? That's fiberglass. It's a covering. There's rust from the door hitting it. I didn't even look at the inside edge of the door. I'm curious. Did I leave it unlocked? Let's see. I did. Okay, that's not bad. It's not bad. But as you can see, oh no, this is sheet metal actually. I thought it was fiberglass. Sorry. I can just imagine what this looks like underneath there. So now, as I got it up in the air, I happen to notice, you see that sticker that's on the frame right there? It's been painted over. But then I noticed those marks. Power washer. Okay, no big deal. Power washer. I noticed this the paint on the springs. Look at that Bondo work. Isn't that special? Now, here's the rockers. Look at that, rotted away. Look at that. Just everything's all rotted away. Come over to this side. Same thing, rotted away. Not even there anymore. Adios, it's gone. Look, you can see the self-tapping screws that they shoved through it to try to hold this piece of crap in place. So it gets better though, it gets better. So then I happen to come back here and oh yeah, there's a section of the frame right there. Here's a rear shock cross, remember? You guys saw I made a video on replacing one of these because it just completely rotted away. Now, let's see, what else was it? Oh yeah, you're gonna love this. A beautiful sky tonight. All right, there's this trailer hitch. Check this out. So, not even attached to the bumper. So that tells me it's bent. And if you look, you can kind of see that this has been kinked, right? See what I'm talking about? It looks like it had a bend to it, a kink to it. All right, that's great. There's a kind of rot hole in it right there. Okay, yeah, that's safe for towing, right? Look at those ears. You see how bent they are? Kind of hard to tell from the video. Try this. You see they're bent to one side? Now hold on, it gets better, it gets better. Ready for this? Bum bum bum! Look at that. Look at that. What on earth is that? What is that? And it's attached to a rotting section back here. Talk about unsafe. Now, there again, like when I started this video. Oh, actually, let me look at the cab corner over on this side. Oh, man, yeah. Picasso hard at work, or whoever the sculptor was, Michelangelo. I have no idea. Not into that stuff. I sound like a dope, don't I? Anyway. All right, so I figured we're going to have brake lines that were installed by somebody else. Okay, not bad, not bad. Got unions in place. Got unions in place, let's see. And then we got a compression fitting. You're not supposed to use compression fittings. Compression fittings are dangerous on brake lines. And that, if I'm not mistaken, is the main line from the master on down to the ABS unit, which is right there. And then somebody cobbled in a adapter in there. And look, somebody actually wire wheeled the frame and the fuel lines. Ugh, I tell you. So anyway, back to what I was saying. If you're going to buy a vehicle, used vehicle, have it checked out before you buy it. We get it all the time, or at least I have. This is probably the second person in 2 or 3 months that has come to me and said, hey, I want to buy this vehicle, or I'm sorry, hey, I already bought this vehicle. Can you tell me if I made a good purchase? Why not bring it to me beforehand? I had a customer stop in yesterday saying that he wanted to buy this truck. It was a diesel truck. He showed me pictures of it. I said, why don't you bring it up here? Let me look at it first before you buy it. She says, oh, well, the guy wants me to buy it first. Well, if he won't let you take it up for me to look at, don't buy it. I don't care how good the deal is. Something's wrong. Tell the guy to bring the vehicle to me. Yes, the guy's 25 miles away. Okay, so pay him $100 or something like that. You know, I don't know. Get him to bring it up here. If he's not willing to bring it up here, something's wrong. Whatever. Anyway, so I'm just trying to look out for you guys. Just, try to use your head when you're buying a used car. This way you don't get ripped off. unfortunately, what is this guy going to do? It's his now. If you're getting anything out of my videos, hit the like button. If you could, please subscribe. That's about it. Have a great night. Keep wrenching. Hey guys, so today I got to install a trailer hitch on that truck. My collar messed up. I got that truck that I did the video on of, he purchased the truck and then asked me to look at it. And I showed you the trailer hitch, how messed up it was. Matter of fact, I got it off. And take a look at this. So here's the hitch. And you can see how waffled that side is, how bent it is. And it's kinked right there and rotted. And look at that side. I mean, come on. This is what you get when you go to a used car lot that's just there to scam people. I'm not saying all used car lots are thieves. Most of them are not. Most of them are great people. But if you get a deal that you think is too good to be true, it probably is. I mean, that's just outright unsafe. That amazes me that somebody actually did that. A trailer hitch is a brand new one's $200. Luckily, I had a used one. So I had a used one on that truck right there. So I took it off and I mounted it. What a time I had mounting that. The rear bumper is actually bent on this truck. So let me show you real quick. It's already on. But here it is. It's all mounted. As you can see, the top hardware, there where it goes in the bumper, it doesn't fit exactly right. That's as good as it's going to get because the bumper is actually bent. The center of the bumper is bent inward. So, but it's all mounted. It's a factory hitch. It was in great shape. There was really nothing wrong with it at all. It was just me mounting it up and getting it in place. And I wound up having to loosen the whole bumper up and manipulate it and move it back because it was too far in. I could not line up those two bolts. Those two bolts underneath there, those things were actually about 2 inches off. So wound up, taking the whole bumper loose, all the brackets, everything else, and maneuvering it, manipulating it. I used pry bars and stuff like that just to try to pry everything into place. I eventually got it, but I had a time and a half doing it because, like I said, the bumper itself is bent in the center. But at least now he's got a safe way to tow something. So the next thing was he had me change O2 sensors because the O2 sensors on this, remember I showed you it had a ton of codes in it. So I did that and I took it for a road test, and sure enough, the misfire, remember it had a misfire on there too. The misfire came back. So on the road test, I had my scanner with me, and I was looking, and I found cylinder 5 was the one that was predominantly misfiring. Okay. So I get back. I had a set of used spark plugs from an engine that I just did. They were still in the motor, but anyway, pulled the plugs out. They're in okay shape, but they're used plugs. I just pulled one out, and I swapped number 5 out. Just stuck a used plug in it. Took it for a ride, and the misfire was gone. So he's going for a set of spark plugs because I think the plugs were original. I want you to see this. I've actually never seen this. At idle, it ran fine. Cruising, it ran fine. Under load, it would misfire like crazy. Check this out. So here's your plug. If you look, it's not terrible until you get there. What on earth happened there? And you could see signs that it was arcing across the grounding strap on the side. Actually, that's the first time I've ever actually seen that where only half the porcelain splits. I've seen this porcelain actually break and shield the spark, causing a misfire. I've seen that. But yeah, these are original plugs. I mean, look how worn out that is. That's just shot. But that's my next step. I'm going to be throwing a set of spark plugs in this thing now and take it for a ride. He actually has another vehicle at his house that he wants me to stop and take a look at because he thinks it's unsafe to drive. He thinks the wheel bearing went out. It's a Ford Explorer. I made a video on that a long time ago, maybe a year, maybe 8 months ago, where I basically rebuilt the 4-liter. It took 2 4-liters and made one, and worked out pretty good. The truck's been running fine. He's been very happy with it. Of course, you always have that little doubt in the back of your head, but everything worked out fine. It was a single overhead cam motor, so you have to line up the cams, and there's a whole bunch of nonsense you got to do with those things. And of course, you got to use specialty tools to do it. So anyway, I'm going to throw a set of spark plugs in this, and I'm going to road test this down to his house because usually I take lunch, I go home and take care of my dog, and go from there. So if you get anything out of my videos, hit the like button. If you could, please subscribe. That's about it. You guys have a great day. Keep wrenching.